and even motions to proceed to a bill. And so here's the Senate, 100 capable people spending a week debating whether to debate a bill. And then because of the nomination backlog, spending an enormous amount of time just kind of going through the routine of voting yes or no on nominations as opposed to wrestling with the issues before us. I'll give you an example of a reform I'm working on right now. And this is a reform to say when we have an appropriation bill, a spending bill that comes out of the spending committee unanimously or near unanimously, it should just have a very short, brief conversation, debate over whether to move the bill to the floor. So instead of spending a week to move it to the floor, we spend just an hour. And instead of taking a week to put the substitute amendment in place, we take just an hour. And then we guarantee amendments. We leave the 60 votes in place for final passage, but we don't have to wait a day and 2 days in order to hold that vote. So we really streamline the process so we can get a spending bill onto the floor and have 20 amendments on it and debate them and get it off in a day and a half. Whereas the last time there was a single bill on the floor, I think it was 6 weeks that we spent on that one bill, which meant none of the other bills could come to the floor. So that's just one example of trying to make this Senate work better.
Thanks, Jeff. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question for the senator.
Yeah, can you just identify yourself, please?
Hi, Senator Merkley, Damon Alvarado with Newswatch 12. Obviously, I know you really did point out, with the passage of the bill with Trump's administration, looking at that, we know a lot of people in rural communities, specifically Southern Oregon, Eastern Oregon, when you're looking at some of those Medicaid cuts, some of these hospitals are going to have to make tough decisions. But, as you guys are looking at this, we're seeing some Republicans resign in parts of Congress. So from your guys' standpoint, as you see maybe Republicans kind of run away from the issues we're going to start seeing here soon, did that also go into play with your decision? Just like we're here now, like we have to figure out a solution because, I mean, the hurt is coming as we continue to follow what some of these policies will do.
Yeah, some of the worst attacks on Oregon Health Plan, that is Medicaid, were delayed until after the next election. If Republicans like these things so much, why didn't they put them into effect now? And the reason is because they're going to do so much devastation. And they wanted to get through another election without people seeing the impact. But the estimate is across the country, these changes will tear health insurance away from some 17 million Americans. We will see an impact in Oregon, estimated of 150 to 200,000 people losing health care. We're going to see a piece of this bill that says you can't use provider taxes to help fund the state's responsibility for matching funds, possibly make an enormous impact on our ability to keep the Oregon Health Plan in place. We have a third of our state on Oregon Health Plan. And then you take and you say, well, if a lot of folks lose their insurance and can't pay medical bills, look at the loss of revenue, especially the loss of revenue to our rural healthcare clinics and our rural hospitals. I mean, it's anticipated that a number will probably have to shut down. And when that happens, it isn't just people on the Oregon Health Plan that are hurt. It's everybody in the community who now has to drive 70 miles to get to a clinic or to a hospital. So this is, I think, just a horrific decision for all of America, but a special damaging to rural America and rural Oregon. And take, for example, their strategy over the SNAP, which is nutrition assistance. We're going to see an impact when that kicks in. And again, they delayed it for a couple of years. When it kicks in Oregon, it could cost the state approximately $240 million per year, or nearly $500 million through a 2-year budget cycle. Where's that money going to come from? And so what happens in our state? And without nutrition, how do kids learn? I mean, we want to build a world in which every child can thrive. And what this bill does is create a world in which billionaires just keep getting richer and changing the laws to help billionaires. It's government by and for the powerful. And so we need to be fighting together instead for government by and for the people. I want to add that I'm inviting everybody who believes in the vision of a world in which every family has the opportunity to succeed and every child has the opportunity to thrive. to join me in this campaign. To go to jeffmerkley.com. Want to make sure I got the website right. Go to jeffmerkley.com and join me in this effort. This is a time for all of us to be on deck. There's other moments in our history when things were going radically wrong and people rallied to say, no, we're going to put this nation back on track. And that's what we need to do right now.
Any other questions? Going once, going twice. Senator, do you have any closing thoughts you want to share with the group?
Thank you all. I appreciate your coverage. One of the things that's happened during the 3 terms that I've been here is we have seen the loss of local news in so much of the state and the country. When I came here, we had 3 full-time reporters covering the 2 senators from Oregon just here in the Senate. And so I'm so appreciative of you all carrying on this incredibly important role of providing updates to the people of the state about what's going on, for them to get information they can count on. And I will add that one of the things that I'm deeply troubled about, a big challenge for our democracy, are the media bubbles in which often rural America is watching one cable television channel and urban America watching a different cable, and they're starting with different sets of facts when it brings us to the conversation. This is why it's so important in my mind for those who are elected like myself statewide to get to every corner of the state, to have a conversation with the mayors and the city councilors and the county commissioners in every part of the state in order to work in partnership. And one of the partnerships that I've brought is really advocating for community initiated projects. And those projects, because of my role on the Appropriations Committee, we've been able to deliver about 475 projects around the state. And the community says, hey, our clean water program is really important. Okay, I use my seat on appropriations to fight for it. They say, oh, what we really need is enhancement of our child care system. Well then, okay, great. You need a grant for that. Let's fight to get that. And it's a huge variety of things that are priorities for different communities, but those 475 projects, many of them wouldn't have happened if I wasn't serving on the spending committee. But also to have that informed by traveling to every part of the state in order to hear from the local officials firsthand. So again, thank you for covering affairs. And I look forward to a national effort to put our nation back on track. And I'm going to do everything I can to be a partner in that effort. God bless and take care.